Dabchick by Haruki Murakami. This is a chapbook from McSweeney's 4. This copy is not signed. It's one of 5 chapbooks in issue 4. I have not been able to get my hands on a signed copy. Although in this case, I literally did have my hands on a signed copy. A beautiful copy, signed in Japanese, very boldly. Just a fabulous example. But it was only in my hands for literally a day. I knew that this was out there. It was in the UK. The chapbook was signed by Murakami, and the first printing box was inscribed and signed by Dave Eggers, contemporary to publication, which is nice because there's not a lot of first printing boxes signed, and most of the first printing boxes are signed later, not contemporary to publication. But it wasn't on my radar. It wasn't something it was frightful expensive. I was working on my McSweeney's 7 grouping, the 2001 and 2003 catalogs. It just wasn't on my radar at all, really. But a fellow reader, collector, bookseller in Canada, he wanted that Murakami. But it was going to be frightful expensive. He knew he might be able to get me to go for the box. And it wound up working out. I was amenable to it. My concern was the box. Is the box reasonably correct? The first printing box for issue 4 is a piece of junk. Is the box wrecked? Is the box soiled beyond belief? But anyway, I corresponded with the seller in the UK, had him send me pictures. They were bad pictures. I had him send me more pictures. It wound up working out. We sent it here, so the box would only have to travel once. I beheld the Murakami and then sent it on to Canada. So it was a multinational deal. Canada, UK, and US. So I know there's a signed copy of this, and when the owner dies, maybe he'll send it to me in his will, but that's the only way I'm ever going to get it. I know of another copy. I don't know where it is now. I know it was sold for a lot of money. Very few copies of this. And Murakami people will pay whatever it takes. So I don't expect to ever get a signed copy of this. But I do have a signed copy of the first printing of the book. This was, although Murakami is Japanese, this was first printed in the UK. The true first is the UK edition. The US edition is not the true first. In fact, it wasn't printed in Japan until 2009. So I have a first printing of Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman. Beautiful cover. Signed on a Random House book plate. And almost all of the copies of this are signed on book plate. Very, very few copies were held in hand by Murakami and signed. There are probably some out there. It wasn't something that I shopped for specifically. I would expect there to be a premium on top of the premium for a book that's actually signed, but not on the book plate. This is the Blackwell's numbered edition. This is number 41 out of 85. There is another numbered edition of 1,000. That edition is slipcased. It's got a special cover. It's a whole special printing, 1,000 copies, slipcased, very, very nice. That is considered to be the copy to have. Although the numbering is 1,000 copies, it brings more money than the Blackwell's edition, even though it's 85 copies, because that is, as I said, slipcase, very printed special, the whole 9 yards. So that brings more money. I took the Blackwell's edition. Seen a few out there also signed on book plates that are neither limited edition but signed on book plates. So signed in Japanese and English. Number 41 of 85. Just a beautiful copy. I know where there is a proof, which I may or may not pick up. It's not a tremendous amount of money. It's not all that much money. I will probably buy it. The condition is not wonderful. It's a good plus maybe. But I may probably pick up the proof to go with the book. The U.S. edition, a signed first of the U.S. edition brings the most money. Very few signed copies in the U.S. As I said, the UK is the true first, but there are so few signed copies of the U.S. edition, they bring a lot of money. The Murakami collectors are pretty hardcore collectors. They will spend what it takes. They want the first of everything, and they bring a lot of money. I was really interested in simply a true first printing. Very happy with the one that I wound up with. But that's why the U.S. edition is the most money. There are not that many, and a completist collector has to scrabble for the few copies there are. So, Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman. Dabchick appears in this. Dabchick first printed in issue 4 of McSweeney's. And there you